Hello, money queens and listeners. Welcome to Women Behind the Millions. Let's meet the women behind the millionaires, the women supporting, guiding, celebrating women with their wealth. You will hear from women millionaires, how they got there, what they wish they had known, what got them to be a millionaire, the emotional side, the spiritual side, the practical side of wealth. You'll also get to meet the women behind the scenes helping make it happen. Let's dive into Women Behind the Millions. I am Jessica Weaver, your host, best-selling author of 3 books, wealth advisor, and founder of the Women's Wealth Boutique. Let's start meeting the women. Hey, money queens. It is Jessica Weaver. I am so grateful to be here with you tonight for another episode of Women Behind the Millions, where we cover all things power, prosperity, and yes, the color pink. Welcome to tonight's episode. I cannot wait to bring on our guest here. She is one of our featured financial trendsetters in our upcoming book, Financial Trendsetters, launching February 2024. Get on our book launch team. We cannot wait for this book to come out. I had the privilege of meeting our featured guest quite a few months ago. I love her story. I had the privilege of already reading her chapter. We're going to go into her journey in the financial industry. And really the purpose of this show, to be honest, is money can be a very complicated, overwhelming, stressful topic. And I do not want it to be that way for women. I want money to be relatable and engaging and fun and silly and fabulous and all of that. But to give you a taste of what it takes and who are the people helping women build not just money, but wealth, right? Money is good. It comes in and it pays the bills. Wealth to me is now money earning its own money. It's money being passed down from generation to generation. Wealth, they're assets, they're money producing assets, they're streams of income. So much more than just there to pay the bills, right? Earn your paycheck and pay your bills. And that's why we bring on guests like today. So you see different ways to build wealth. Who are the people that you need to be in their world to help you build the wealth? So you're not struggling or having to figure it all out yourself. You shouldn't, right? I've always had coaches, mentors, advisors, experts on my team to build multiple businesses, multiple real estate portfolio, all these different assets. And that's exactly it, right? It takes a team, it takes experts, and that's what we are here to bring you on, Women Behind the Millions, really behind the scenes look at what it takes. So today, we always love to start with a prayer or a mantra, some sort of grounding thing. And this is exactly what we do at the Women's Wealth Boutique. We start each and every day, session, meeting, retreat, event with a meditation, a prayer, some sort of exercise that really can allow us to connect with our heart, our mission, and to come into alignment. Because we know when we are in alignment with who we are meant to be, who we are meant to serve, and my sister-in-law always jokes with me, I would say, the money comes pouring in, and it does. But it's not just the money comes pouring in, it's wealth being created in that moment, which is, to me, the most exciting thing in the world. So today's mantra is something that I started saying, this summer, a few months ago, is my time is now and I am ready. Because when we are trying to call something into our world, $1 million check, $1 million client, whatever it is, we focus on it because it's not here yet. And that means we're focusing on the gap. But when you say my time is now and I'm ready, it's shifting that from a future object to a today object. And you're letting God, the universe, whoever know, I am accepting it. I am here. I'm receiving it now in this moment. So we will bring you through. If you stay until the end today, we will bring you through a meditation, a guided meditation on exactly this. My time is now and I am ready. And what do you need to do today to be ready, to feel ready, to start receiving? as well. We can't do it now because we'll just lull you all to sleep, and we have too much to get into today on today's episode. So with that, we are going to bring onto our stage a good friend of mine, Jaime Cowper, who is the founder and wealth advisor of Unity Financial Advisors. And she is very passionate, ladies and money queens, about helping folks put together a comprehensive plan to achieve peace of mind in retirement. She has an impressive team that has helped over 500 families over the last 20 years. She's been featured in all sorts of publications, including a best-selling book, Mama's Secret Recipe for Retirement Success. Ooh! So let's bring to stage Jaime Cowper as we go into a little interview and get to see what it's taken to build such an impressive team to help over 500 families, people get to and through their retirements, which is, to me, such an exciting stage. Life, Jaime. So welcome.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited about this. I'm a big fan of yours and all that you're doing to bring awareness for women. So kudos to you as well.
Thank you. And ladies, she is a fellow basketball player. I played in college. I was so excited to learn that as I was going through your chapter, a little sneak peek into Jaime's chapter of Financial Trendsetters as well. So Jaime, let's start with what brought you into the financial industry. I'm always curious what people's journeys are. Did you grow up knowing you wanted to be a wealth advisor?
Not at all. Actually, it's interesting that I got through college, really just happened to be working at a bank. And that's really where I established that I really enjoyed forming relationships with people and helping them to plan for their financial future. So when I graduated with my bachelor's degree, I really didn't know what I was planning to do. So I just continued at the bank. I was a personal banker. And then my journey led me to speaking to a relative, and they were saying, you should check out this new agent training program at one of the largest insurance companies. I had recently been licensed in insurance and investments, and I thought, you know what, why not? Let's see where that leads. And so that was a scary first leap because at the bank I was making a decent salary and I enjoyed what I was doing, but then I decided to pursue that to then learn more about the industry. And that's really then kind of what led me into where I am now.
Wow. I think this is something that a lot of people don't realize. When you start out in the financial industry, for the most part, you are walking away or saying no to a secure, steady salary.
Yeah.
And you are starting from the ground up. What were your emotions during that transition, that risk you decided to take?
Well, I think it was a little naivete for part of it because it was like, this is exciting. I'm learning new things. And I just had this vigor to be able to provide more knowledge to folks. And I wanted to learn more, period, where I felt like at the bank, it was a little transactional. And I could see that there were areas that I couldn't help folks with. And so that's really what started my desire to really helping people achieve peace of mind in retirement, because it's not just about, giving them recommendations on investments. It's about helping them protect the plan. And so those were things that I wasn't able to do at the bank. And so that's really what led me to wanting to have that knowledge and learn more. But it was definitely daunting. And they give you that 100 list where you're supposed to reach out to your friends and family. And it's like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to put that on my friends and family. So it was not an easy first few years, I will say that, but I did meet my mentor shortly after kind of getting started. And that's really what led me down the path even further.
Was that a pivotal point, having a mentor? Was it a male or a female? I'm curious.
It was a male. Yeah. He had been in the industry for 25 years. And he said he had gone through a couple folks that, just wouldn't do the deal, I guess. And I was eager to learn and get on the phone. And I made a lot of phone calls to reconnect with some of his old clients. And I was building my own. I had a slot in the school district that was able to help teachers to save for their TSAs. And that was a natural connection for me. My mom was a principal in the district, and again, basketball, and we were in a small community. So knew a lot of folks. So that kind of was another area that I pursued to continue to get knowledge. But yeah, I'm super grateful to the opportunity with my mentor. He's been amazing. And I worked very closely with him for many years. And then he actually after I formed my own company, he did some consulting for my company, which was pretty cool. Yeah.
What a great relationship for that. And to switch kind of roles.
Yeah.
Now, peer to peer, he's still the consultant, the expert, but to come in there. What year into the industry do you feel like you really hit your stride? The confidence was there. People are coming to you more actively. You're getting those referrals. How many years in would you say, Jaime?
I would say at least five or six, and then 10 was also another pivotal year, and that's when I formed my company. But yeah, about 5 years in is where I started to understand. It takes a lot, as you know, to understand all of the pieces to this business. And as I was meeting other advisors, I was finding at the time in my career, it was most folks either did insurance or investments, but I didn't find many that did both. And that's really what made me want to form my own company, was to be able to then provide the areas that I feel like are important for retirees. So that holistic style, and there are firms out there definitely, but there weren't as many when I formed my company 10 years ago as there maybe are now.
Yes. So you said year 5 and year 10 were those kind of transforming years where you're taking on this new identity. You have the confidence. People are proactively coming to you and you feel like you're doing a good job.
Yeah.
You're delivering good, strong results with it. Did you ever feel that imposter syndrome come up along the way?
Oh my gosh, definitely. Yeah. I love what I do. I'm very passionate about it. I love small groups, but I'm not big on, being the center of attention all the time. And that's funny because I would maybe not describe myself as an extrovert. However, in some ways I am. And I think that's kind of similar to many folks in our industry where you kind of describe yourself in both ways. But yeah, so I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought.
Yes, it's true. I'm an introvert.
There we go. That's where I was going with that.
I'm an introvert. I love doing things like this. I do love being at a good party, networking. It will drain me. So I know I need to find those pockets of time to kind of build myself back up, regroup, get the energy back for the next one as well. But I think it feels a lot of the advisors who come on the show say they are introverts. And I feel that makes them, and I'm curious what you think on this, better advisors because we tend to ask more questions because we don't like talking about ourselves.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
For it too. What part of the business do you just love to do the most? That you have an impressive team backing you up, but what are those roles that you still love to be super hands-on with?
I love putting the plans together because it is very comprehensive. So I mentioned that we're holistic. So we do the insurance, the investments. We're big about having different buckets with different objectives. And it's fun that every client is different and their needs are different. So really that comprehensive plan is really what excites me. And then also helping to set up the buckets for income, plus the fund money, which I talk about in my chapter in my book. And then helping to protect the plan. So that was, again, going back to the bank, that there are lots of areas to help folks with and impart knowledge, as well as Social Security is another thing I'm very passionate about educating people on. So that's another area that we do help our clients with and do some analysis around and educate them. And we'll build the income plan around, whatever makes sense to them. So, I might say the numbers show you this. And then you say, you know what, but I want to do it this way, and that's okay. So as long as I feel like I've educated them and they know how they want to proceed, then we can build the plan around that.
Wow. Oh, fantastic. You mentioned before starting your own firm. What led into that decision? And that's another identity shift. Taking on, now I'm the CEO, I'm the founder, I'm the president, I'm running the show, I'm building the team, doing it my way. Take us through that process.
Yeah, it really just, again, kind of came down to wanting to help people achieve peace of mind in retirement and put that insurance and investment side together. And I felt like other advisors that I had encountered over the years maybe only focused on one of those areas. And there are specific areas that I believe are important for retirees. So that's really why I decided to form my company, that holistic style of planning. So we help with protection, we help with growth, we have professional money management. Again, I mentioned Social Security. I have additional training there, and we have an analysis we run to help folks to understand that. Long-term care, I'm certified in that area. That was actually one of the first certifications I got in the industry. And it's not the most fun topic, but it is important, I think, that people address it, whether or not they want to utilize insurance or not. It's all about leveraging money up to me. So often if it makes sense to you, then it can make sense to the client if you can explain it in a way that they can understand.
Yes, very good. I'm curious, being a leader and a boss growing your own team, what have been some of your challenges?
Well, I didn't set out to be a business owner. So I think it was just having that determination initially that, I know we can do good work for folks. And I had a vision back when that this is what I felt like I wanted to provide to clients, and I wanted close relationships, and I wanted them to be able to rely on me and my team as their guides throughout retirement, because I think that's almost the most important thing. Advisors can set folks up with a plan, but if they're not there to then, answer questions or, if they need additional money, where does it come from? We're very hands-on and strategic with our clients, whether it's, they want to take a trip or they have some extra money. Of course, we set them up with the buckets, we call them. But after that, our clients call us and say, you know what, I need money for this, or I need money for that. And we're going to look at their accounts and give them advice. We don't expect them to just guess. We don't set them up on auto necessarily for their required minimums, which I find that some advisors do. I think that it allows them to be more strategic and have a partner and a guide. So really that's being the guide. But the challenge was building the team. So, like I said, I didn't have any business experience, but I knew what I wanted to provide for clients. So I was very lucky to find, after going through one person, my associate advisor now, who does just a wonderful job. It's been over 6 years that he's been part of the team, and he provides a lot of the help for clients day to day. And that allows me to then be building the plans and guiding clients as well. So, and then I also have 2 other support admin on my team that help support clients as well. So we've continued to grow. I just hired someone recently, our director of client services. So,
wow. Oh, that's fantastic. Congratulations on the new hire. What has surprised you at opening up your own business, your own firm?
Surprised me. That's a good question. I guess it didn't surprise me, but just that everything changes. We know that we can't control things, but you just never know what's going to come. We all encountered COVID, and that was something, the time frame where it was scary for businesses. Kind of everything came to a standstill. So just the unknown really is what you just are not prepared for. But it's a matter of kind of being comfortable, being uncomfortable. It would be my definition of being a business owner. Get comfortable being uncomfortable, because new things are going to come up, and you just have to do your best and move forward. And I think communication is key.
Yes. Do you have everybody back in the office? Is it hybrid? Are you working through that virtual world as well?
We're hybrid. So yeah, that's something else is kind of evolving and changing. And I want my team to be happy as well. That's important to me, because I think that comes through to clients. So they're very important to me as well. We're like a family. So we do have a hybrid where we are pretty much every week we look at it. There's always someone in the office, at a minimum one person, but we do work somewhat hybrid as well. And then we have virtual meetings with clients, which is something new as well in the last few years, which I think has been helpful for clients, that they don't have to leave their house if they want, but we do see a lot of folks in the office. Yes.
Oh, good. Very good setup. Strong. You brought up communication. So I was curious, because that virtual world and platform, communication is critical, as we've learned. And
Definitely.
People communicate in all different styles of emails, calls, texts, Teams, right? And there's so many platforms to communicate on. So you seem to have found a really smooth transition into that world. Before we dive in even more, and especially into your chapter in our book, Financial Trendsetters, we have some trivia questions for you, Jaime.
Uh-oh.
Just two. All right. First one is true or false. Okay, Jaime?
Mm-hmm.
True or false? Women are expected to control $30 trillion of financial assets passed down by baby boomers in 2023, just in the United States.
I would say true.
That is true. Isn't that insane? $30 trillion, ladies, is going to get passed down from one generation to the next in 2023. And that's what I think is so interesting, Jamie. And you probably are witnessing this with your clients as well, right? It's now that next generation that we're preparing for, right? Now the baby boomers, when they're retiring at a very quick rate, with their, was it like 10,000 a day or something, or an hour, I want to say even. But then the older population of the baby boomers, right? As they pass away, this feels like the first generation with real assets and wealth, and the housing prices at a even higher rate. And now we also have the long-term care issue too. So I can see that being true. Okay, next question. Great job with the first one. What percentage of women have saved emergency funds? Ooh, this is multiple choice. So A, 30%, B, 48%, C, 58%, D, 75%.
I would say A.
30%. Close, 48%. 48% of women have emergency funds compared to 58% of men. So men, they got a little leg up on us. They also earn more money as well.
For that, though.
Yeah, we are. We are blasting through that glass ceiling, ladies. We are. So only 48% of women have emergency funds, right? Another reason to get inside our world, ladies, because not having that is causing you to stay up at night. It's causing you stressing, anxiety. Reach out to Jaime. Perfect example of how to build out that security, and then that leads to the freedom as well. So Jaime, where do you see your firm going? What's the vision? What are you building out? What's the future?
Well, I always say it as our clients' needs change and as we continue to grow, that I will continue to hire, because it is very important to me that we help families. So we do not impart a minimum, and that's one of the reasons I hired my associate advisor, and will continue to as it makes sense, so that we can support our clients. I love working with multi-generations, and everyone has to get a start somewhere. So you don't just, as we know, start out with millions. You need to build them. And so I think that's maybe a misconception people have, that they have to have a certain amount of money before they can work with a financial advisor. And in some cases there are folks that have minimums, but we don't impart that, mainly because we want to help all different stages.
Yes. Okay. So keep building it out, hiring that next phase of teammates, because it sounds you have that multi-generational strategy in play already for that wealth transfer, right? Isn't it 70% of wealth gets lost from one generation to the next? And I want to say it's 80 or 90% by the third generation. Working with those families, that's key to completely changing that statistic.
Yes.
Very nice, Jaime. Beautiful. What did you want to get out of your chapter? She's a featured author in our upcoming book, ladies, Financial Trendsetters. What did you want to get across within your chapter, Jaime?
I guess just that the journey wasn't easy, but it was so worth it. So hopefully people can see, and it is tough to be vulnerable and to share, some of the things the challenges you went through. But it was worth it. And I would, if I had to do it over, I would. But in the industry, as you know, there really aren't as many females, especially 20 years ago, 10 years ago. So it was challenging at times. And there's nothing, against the men at all. There are wonderful male advisors, but it was just the way it was. It wasn't the most comfortable environment. And sometimes I felt like I was on an island, but even with my peers, I didn't necessarily feel super comfortable.
I was going to ask, did you feel isolated? So yes, yeah. Being on your own island would make you feel very, very isolated and alone. Yes. So you didn't get a big warm welcome when you joined the industry.
Yes, I wouldn't say it wasn't that. It's just that I didn't feel comfortable asking the questions all the time, because I felt like I might be viewed, as a dumb blonde, or maybe like, it just was a little daunting to be one of the only females in the room, especially when at the time it was mostly males that were in their 50s, as I know you can relate as well. So part of that is on me, but there was nothing that the men necessarily did to make me feel that way, but it was what it was.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Do you have a mission to help bring more women, the younger generation, into the business as well?
Definitely. Yeah, that's been one of my missions, from the beginning. When I saw that, it's like, I know women can just excel because we are natural communicators, most of us. And it really is a lot about that. And like I said, putting together comprehensive plans. So I feel like sometimes women think they have to be really good at math to help with finances. And it's not necessarily that way. There are lots of areas that you can help with. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Whether it's building out that relationship, the educational side point. Yeah. And very little math in the end when you think about
it. Right. It is interesting.
We have programs and platforms and software that really help quarterback that piece of it. So yeah, engage with women.
I want to be a mentor. Yeah. And I have, I'm currently mentoring one woman at the time. And I would love that more and more opportunity there, because I think that's key in the beginning of this industry is you really, you don't know how to put a plan together, or, how to help folks. So I think that is key for some of the younger females, or anyone entering the business that's female, period, is having some sort of a mentor. And like I said, I'm super grateful for mine, even male or female, doesn't matter, but having a mentor is key.
Yes, I agree. I've noticed when I work with a coach, my income will go up, 80, 90%. And the years I don't, it'll go maybe 10, 20%, but it's very different. And even just growing on a personal side, which, as you know, is going to affect your business, and you can be able to help grow your team, them personally, professionally, the relationships, everything strengthens up as well with it, Jaime. All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. And when we get back, stay with us, ladies, because we're going to get Jaime's favorite money strategy, money move. We're going to get our financial trend, our meditation as well. So stay with us. We'll see you shortly.
Women are born connectors. Yes, we'd love to talk. We are comfortable crying around each other. But this is also what makes us real. We embrace being vulnerable with one another, and this dismantles that wall, the barrier that separates us from our clients. We aren't intimidating, we are real and honest. We aren't here to judge you, we are here to guide you. Women seeking their own healing from the traumas of life. We focus on personal growth because if we grow, everyone around us will grow. That's how it works with women. That's how it works at the Women's Wealth Boutique. We bring everyone up with us. I'm grateful for the men in our lives to embrace this quality in us, who are comfortable in their own skin to take a step back so we can shine. I'm so thankful for the blessing of my own husband who lets my pink light shine all over. We work with and support all women in the financial industry at the Women's Wealth Boutique, female advisors, professionals, investors, and clients. Our mission is to guide women to invest their money where their heart is, whether that is in themselves, specialty investments, real estate, their own business, to help women spend where it feels good to them, not to anyone else, and to be who they are meant to be at the Women's Wealth Boutique.
If you're curious about the Women's Wealth Boutique, womenswealthboutique.com. We have the QR code up there before. Reach out to us, join our community. We have events. We have books coming out like Financial Trendsetters featuring Jaime Cowper with us right now. So many amazing things. We are gearing up for it. and talking about bringing in that next generation of women into the industry. All book proceeds are going to fund a scholarship for a young woman who wants to major in finance in college at that next level education. And I see building out this entire internship program to go along with it. So Jamie's been a huge supporter of this. So grateful to have her here with us on Women Behind the Millions. So Jamie, it is time for your hot money tip. I can't wait to hear what you have up your sleeve. What's your favorite money strategy, money move, money tip?
Well, I would say the importance of having diversification. So I know that sounds like, everyone's heard, don't put all your eggs in one basket, but there's more to it than just that. It's important that one of the premises for our strategy is about having different buckets with different objectives to take advantage of different market cycles. So really having not just maybe 3 different accounts. Sometimes people come to me and we do an analysis that we can run to show them they might have 3 different buckets or accounts, but they may be similarly invested or similar objectives. And so it's important to have those different buckets with different objectives. And not only that, but also tax status. I think looking at, are you doing things to grow your money tax-free as well? And that's especially important for the younger generation, that we try to help our clients to look at that. And Roth IRAs are a hot topic right now. Those are good ways to save and grow your money tax-free. However, there are other ways, and there are some strategies that we do help our clients with as well. So diversification, I think, is very important.
And you brought up, it's not just when people hear diversification, right? Stocks, bonds, cash, CDs, money markets, right? Within that. But as you said, diversification among taxes. I think people don't realize. Let's talk about this a little bit more. Explain how they can diversify among their taxes today, their taxes in the future, how their money's being taxed in general.
Sure. I think people forget, because we get so focused on saving money in our 401ks, that not all that money is really yours. So sure, you're getting a tax deduction in the beginning, but you're growing this nest egg that now I find that in retirement, that becomes one of the biggest issues that I fight with clients about. It's like they've built good savings, but now they don't want to pay the taxes, but you have to. So if you deferred those taxes, they have to come out and you have to pay them. And so there's a lot being talked about our taxes going to be higher in the future. And there was the old adage that, when I retire, I'll be in a lower tax bracket. Well, I mean, who knows if they could change the brackets, or, I'm not finding that people retire at a lot lower lifestyle. They don't want to. So maybe you are in the same tax bracket. So ways that you can diversify, like I mentioned, you can do Roth conversions, you can do Roth contributions. There are some other strategies that we help folks with that you can save on a more tax advantaged fashion.
Beautiful. Yes, you can pay taxes now, you can pay taxes later. At some point you are paying taxes, decide, and you probably hear this all the time too, Jamie. Well, won't I be in a lower tax bracket in the future because I won't be working in retirement? What do you think about that, Jamie?
Like I said, I'm not finding that as much, because when you start to put it together, some of our clients end up having more income in retirement than they did before they retired. When we look at Social Security, I know pensions are going away, but we still have many clients that have pensions. And so those are all taxable. And then when you add on, again, the fact that when you get to 73, for example, that's the new required minimum distribution age, you're forced to take money out of your 401ks, your IRAs, that could even bump you into a higher tax bracket. So having some tax controls, having some different buckets that maybe you don't have to access, or that are going to be more favorable or tax-free withdrawals, that makes sense. And like you said, I think, why not, while we're working, why wouldn't we want to pay taxes now rather than considering all of it being taxable in retirement when we can't just go back to work necessarily?
Yes. And you think too, in retirement, usually you don't have any dependent children to claim. You lose that. You lose those 401k deductions, IRA deductions. You probably have your house paid off. So minimize deductions. You don't get the interest piece anymore either. So it's good to look at what is that tax. There is a strategy behind multiple ones. So working with somebody like Jaime, who's going to look at the entire picture, not just how do I save as much tax money as possible today,
Right.
the same through your working years and into retirement as well. And what's that balancing act for it? So diversification among different asset classes. And when I say asset classes, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, cash, CDs, but also different ways with insurance as an asset class, diversification with your taxes if you're paying them now or in retirement along the way as well. There's so many different ways to diversify. And you're right, just having accounts at all different firms, custodians, does not really mean you are diversified. And I keep thinking of a couple that I'm working with. They go, well, this one fund just did really well, so we just put it in for everything. It could work for periods of time, but there's also a lot of periods of time when you could be severely hit hard.
Yeah.
Depending on what happens in the markets as well for it. All right, Jaime, what is your financial trend that you've included in our book, Financial Trendsetters for Women and Money or Business? What do you see happening?
Kind of goes to what we were saying earlier, that I do believe that women are trending towards being the higher wage earners. And that is a shift, as we talked about. Currently, men still make more money than women, but I do see a shift happening where there are a lot of the females, when I work with couples, that maybe they are the breadwinner, or maybe now the husband stays at home, or somewhat of a hybrid of that, or maybe part-time. So there are unique challenges with that as well.
Yes, that's what I'm curious to see what happens in the household dynamics. As a woman, they're to be a breadwinner, you're taking on more responsibilities at work in some regards. Maybe it's more travel, later nights. How do you see the household responsibilities being divided? Do you think it's still going to be the woman's at the grocery store, prepping the dinners, the laundry, or do you see the men stepping up and taking over more of them?
I think it's important that the men do step up, because like you said, it is a lot when you're the breadwinner, that you're taking a lot of the stress on. So I think it really comes down to communication and setting the proper expectations. I know with my husband, I can share from experience that we had a shift as I was building my business, and it became that it made sense for him to reduce hours and then be more available for running the household. And equally, I'm so grateful that he can do that, because that does allow me to focus on being the best I can for my clients, for my team. And I think that that's going to be important, that we, divvy up the roles and set proper expectations going forward.
Yes. And what's lovely is your children are witnessing that. And I think that's what's really going to change the generational pattern, the roles that we've all been put into, right? Women do this, men do this. But as the younger kids see that it doesn't matter, mom or dad, like who's going to make dinner, who's going to grocery
the dishes,
Exactly. And I see men at the grocery store now. I see dads constantly at drop off and pick up, at daycare. I have young kids. So it is very cool to see that it's not just that traditional role that women have to play anymore. I think that's going to free women up to be able to go and do more.
Exactly. Because women do tend to take on a lot, or they will just, from my experience, the women that in my life, you try to do as much as you can, but it is important to divvy up those roles, because then you can hit a point where maybe, it's too much and you need that proper support.
Yes. Yes. Very true. I love this trend. I see it, and I see the forecast out with more women in the CEO, executive leadership roles, as well as they're getting more support from home. And I, even on the commercial today, my husband's been an incredible supporter. But when his role at work shifted, he was doing night shift, 12-hour shifts, weekends, holidays. I wasn't able to travel near as much as I've been able to do for speaking and networking and doing our own events. Now that he's shifted his role, it's been so nice and so much more support that I can lean on him with as well. So
that's amazing.
It's incredible to see. Great trends here, Jaime. So if you want to stay with us, we're going to go through a meditation all geared, circling back to our original mantra, my time is now and I am ready. And Jaime, can you pinpoint a moment in your career or life when it just hit you, I am ready to tackle this?
It's a good question.
Put you on the spot here a little bit.
I think it's just out of sheer determination, but yeah, I think, like I mentioned earlier, with not really setting out to be a business owner, it was about just taking one thing at a time. So, yeah.
I swear, if we knew how hard it was going to be, we would never take the leaps. And I think God does that intentionally. Mm-hmm. We get this burst of inspiration or fire that we find deep down inside of us, and we kind of jump off the cliff. I don't know if this is you, but this is me.
Oh, yeah.
Off the cliff, I'm like, we'll figure it out.
Exactly. I mean, it's like you have to. It's sink or swim. And I think when you're passionate about something, then that just spurs you forward.
Yes. And a big common theme in this show, and I can see even in this episode, is women taking a more proactive approach to their careers and their money. And I think as we do it with our career, with our education, and invest in ourselves, it's going to ripple right into the money as well. And that's what I feel with this mantra is really, when I say my time is now and I am ready, I'm claiming it. I'm not passively waiting for someone to hand it to me or wait, when is my turn going to be there? I was just at a reel of myself just sitting here, right? Playing with my squishy, drinking some water, like, when's the money coming? I did it. Wait, where is it? But women actually stepping up and are ready for this. So we're going to, if you don't mind staying on, Jaime, because we have one more question for you.
Sure.
We're going to go through a little meditation here about really claiming that identity, that time in our life, and what do we need to do to feel safe and secure to receive it. And a quick shout out to our 10-week course, Lift, which is a 10-week money meditation journey that takes you through healing any money traumas. And trust me, we all have these money traumas or financial abuse or just ignorance, not knowing, being aware, and forgiving yourself, healing from it, taking yourself through this journey to now receiving it. And it's been incredible, the results of the women who have gone through this, from winning lottery tickets to unexpected raises, promotions, clients coming into their life and just falling into full alignment with it. And let's get that up one more time as we go through this meditation. And I invite you all to take a deep breath in and out. You can't see me, but I'm cracking my neck. I always do that as we get into the zone. And just close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, just breathe out all the fears, the negativity. Breathe out all that's been on your mind and weighing on you. And feel the ground beneath you, the chair, the floor, really support you, and how sturdy it is. It's got you. Take another deep breath in. And as you breathe in, just repeat, my time is now and I am ready. And see how that feels in your body. See where you can feel this certain energy. My time is now and I am ready. And repeat this a few times as you breathe in and out. My time is now and I am ready. There's been something that has been calling to you, been wanting you to hear. God's been building it. The momentum's been building. And you can feel it. You can feel yourself on the edge of this next big breakthrough. My time is now and I am ready. And we ask your subconscious, you already know, your heart already knows what it is. We ask it to come through for you to see it and picture exactly what you've been waiting for, this breakthrough. My time is now and I am ready. And it comes so clear exactly what it is, this vision. And you're letting it know, my time is now and I am ready. You are ready to receive this. It is safe to receive it. God's been desiring it for you. And right now, tonight, you have decided to step into it, to embrace it. And think of what you need to hear in order to move forward with it. What do you need to shed and leave behind? Who do you need to become to receive it? My time is now and I am ready. And now that you see it, now that you feel safe, secure, and so loved, you are able to see exactly the steps to get there. What is that journey? What is that bridge? And bring that in. Picture all the steps. Let yourself talk. Spend as much time as you need to in here. As long as you need. See each step one by one, perfectly outlined. And then decide right now which step you are going to do tonight, tomorrow. And picture yourself, visualize yourself doing it, even down to the shirt you're wearing, where you are, who you're with, what time. And then tomorrow, you will actually do it in real life. And you're showing your subconscious that you can visualize things and they come true, and they come true very, very quickly. And see how your world transforms. My time is now and I am ready. Your time is now. You, my dear friend, are ready. And when you are ready, take another deep breath in and out. And you can open up your eyes, come back into the room, grab a notebook really quickly, grab a notebook and see. Write it down, get everything there, word by word, step by step, and allow the transformation to come. Your time is now when you are ready, my friend. You are ready, our money queens. All right, Jaime, as we are rounding out our episode tonight of Women Behind, I want to know what makes you a woman behind the millions.
Well, I mentioned I've been doing this for 20 years. I've been an advisor, so I feel like educating, providing knowledge to women that are in, whether it's a couple or a widow or single, all different ages, helping them from the beginning to building into retirement. I've been doing this, and I'm really big on trying to keep things as simple as possible. I want clients to ask questions and feel comfortable. I think that's one of the most important things, because it can be a daunting topic, like we talked about, for women in particular. And I really want them to feel comfortable to ask the questions so that they can understand as much as possible.
Yes. There's that education gap, and you are fighting so hard to narrow that gap, because we know that's going to change the trajectory of women with their wealth. Thank you so much. Here she is, ladies. Here is Jaime Cowper for being one of our financial trendsetters, being a fearless leader in the financial industry. You are incredible, your team, what you're doing. And we went through tonight so much, right, from the journey of getting into the industry, when you've hit your stride, having a mentor, building a team out, and now how, because of all of that, you're able to help guide hundreds of people and families get through their retirement dreams and live the life that they love. Thank you, Jaime, and thank you to all of our viewers, our listeners. So grateful for you to be in our community, in our world, and to remember always be silly, be fun, be fabulous, be wealthy, be famous. Go for it. You are worthy of it all. Thank you, and we'll see you on our next episode of Women Behind the Millions.
Thank you so much.
Hey, money queens, looking to get your wealth to that next level, 7, 8, 9 figures? Follow us on Instagram at PinkFixMyMoney and at Women's Wealth Boutique for more millionaire money